going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the Lone Wolv Podcast. I'm your host, Wolfson, and today's episode, we're going to talk about how EDM artists really earn their money in this industry. Many people believe that being a successful EDM producer gets paid a lot of money by just making sick music and releasing on these sick-ass, big-ass labels. However, that couldn't be far from the truth. In all reality, EDM producers do not make that much of an income as much as other well-known producers. And even so, not many people who make music in this industry actually really make music through just a song. Like, it's almost impossible. They actually had to do many hoops and many side hustles just to get a solid income for them to live on a certain lifestyle. So we're going to explore the reasons to why people think of this, why many EDM artists tour a lot, where the actual income comes from, and why right now in this pandemic, it's hurting them a lot worse than you think. Be sure to like and subscribe to your weekly episodes at the Lone Wolv Podcast for SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and as well as the YouTube channel at the lonewolfpod.com. That's lonewolfpod.com, where you can check all my latest episodes. You can also follow me on any of my social medias at Wolfson Music for any recent updates, clips, and whatnot. You guys can talk to me. Now, without further ado, let's get started. This is the Lone Wolv Podcast. Boom! This is gonna be an interesting one. Let's get the shiznit going. Why not, right? What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the Lone Wolv Podcast. Today's topic, we're going to discuss of how EDM artists earn money. Now, people don't really realize of how much money EDM producers actually make in this industry. Also, people have the wrong assumption that EDM producers make money based on their music, especially up-and-comers who don't know anything about the industry or how the industry layout really works. They all believe that just by making sick music and getting signed to these sick labels and have thousands of plays or if not millions of plays across all multi-platforms like SoundCloud or Spotify or even iTunes, you get potentially a lot of money from it. That's why these guys are getting booked for these festivals, and why they're in these festivals, they're traveling around the world, they're traveling on a nice plane, business class and whatnot. They got nice hotels and shit like that. It has come to my attention that people really do not realize all the shenanigans that happen as an EDM artist. And they all believe that, oh my God, look at the lifestyle they have. Look at the house, the apartment, look at all the traveling they're doing, man. It's a blessing. Absolutely. However, people are completely oblivious to where their actual income comes from. It's not from music, believe it or not. People believe that it's actually from music. Well, unfortunately, I'm sorry to burst your bubbles to all those people and any up-and-comers that are listening to. I'm sorry to let you guys know, but as an EDM artist, you really do not make money out of making your music. Sorry, guys. Seriously, you do not earn your main income from music. You do make some money, but it's not like the same money that you will earn if you were a hip-hop producer or a mainstream producer. Those are different because you got like superstar level artists paying you hundreds and thousands of dollars to make their song. That's a different ball game for another topic, in which that's something I want to discuss with Archie because he knows a lot more about that. Maybe on the next episode I'll bring him on and we'll talk about that. However, this episode is dedicated to these EDM artists because it's not the same. And we're going to talk about a little bit more about Skrillex and other EDM artists that actually make in the mainstream and does that. We're going to talk about that a little bit later on and why their source of income is from music as well. But those guys are a different ball game. Those guys are monster level. Like We're going to discuss that later on in this episode. I'm more focused in the level of EDM artists that's currently right now in this industry in which they are all suffering. Wolfson, why are they suffering? Obviously, there's a pandemic that's happening if you're not realizing that. And you see them releasing music, but they're not getting a cent out of those music, not even now. And the way how it works is that this is how the layout works. You're an EDM artist. You're signed to this so-so label. You make a song for them, a single or an EP, all right? The label will publish that, will distribute that song across all platforms, and will do a huge marketing out of it. Now, that song is out, and let's say like, oh my God, it got thousands of views from YouTube, thousands of streaming from Spotify and SoundCloud. Oh, it got bought out on Beatport and iTunes. Let's just say that. You're in your head thinking like, oh, I'm going to make money now. Not really. Because the way how it works, when you earn money through music, it takes a whole year for you to make that money back. And that's without the discounts. No, I'm sorry, not the discounts. All the fees that the label is taking part of, all the fees that all these the distribution from or of the publishing company is taking off, and all the cuts that all these media platforms take off, like YouTube, like SoundCloud, like Spotify, like iTunes, like Beatport, like any other media platform that allows you to stream music, they all get a cut. Straight up. So let's just say that a song is worth $1 in the market. 99 cents. That's the one you normally will see. At first it will be like $1.50 a single, and then later on becomes 99 cents. Practically $1. And a single, an EP is what, $5, $7 for 4 tracks or 5 tracks, something like that. I don't know. Average ballparking right now. Let's say it's $5. Keep in mind that what I say earlier, the label, the publishing company, and all these media platforms, they all get a cut of that song. So let's just say out of 99 cents, let's, you know what, round it up. Let's make it easy. $1. Out of the $1 that you sold that song, a cut goes to all these media platforms first. They get a cut. Why? Because those are the platforms you're using from them. So obviously they get the first cut. After that, the other cut gets going through the publishing company that made the deal for you to distribute and the label. The label gets the other cut. Once that's done, the managers will probably get a cut because probably the manager was the one who put you into that label to get to that release song. Like me, I don't have a manager. And if I release a song, then after all that, then I get my cut. But if you had a manager that actually put you into that label, then the manager will get a cut of that. Sometimes managers actually get a cut of everything that you do because they're the ones making the business for you. That's neither here and there. Once that's done, bro, believe it or not, out of the $1 that you sold that song, you end up with probably 10 cents. Straight up. 10 cents. Let that sink in you. 10 cents. A dime. One dime you get out of that song that you stream it or you sold it for this amount because you went all through that bull crap. 10 cents. Especially nowadays that people don't buy songs anymore. So it's redundant. People will just stream it, and the streaming costs even more. So you potentially earn like, what, 5 cents less or something like that? That's even worse, you know? Wilson, aren't you saying that you don't make music, you don't make money from music? Aren't you just being a hypocrite right now? Aren't you controversing yourself? No, I'm actually talking straight up facts. Like, you don't earn money from music, no matter what. You can say that you earn a certain amount, but after you get all these cuts from all these people, you get a paycheck for at least a good $100 or so, $200. If the royalties, oh, you forgot royalties. If after the royalties gets through, you really don't get much out of it. Wilson, I still do not understand. Like, you're not making sense. Like, you just did the math right now. You just said it. Like, All right, guys, hear me out. Remember when I say that Spotify and SoundCloud and YouTube, all these media platforms take a cut? All right, cool. They take a cut. And then your distribution company, your publishing company, whatever, they take a cut. And then your labels and your reps take a cut. All that boils down, and whatever you got, that money, the money that you say that you earn, it actually goes down to expenses. Expenses? Yeah, expenses. What expenses? Guys, as an EDM artist, we really do not make money out of music because we're talking about pennies on our pennies. We earn music from pennies. Our real actual income comes from touring and merch. Selling merch, like your brand, like your Wolfson brand or whatever you got. Like right now, I got Zomboy, and I got the Decepticons from the Transformers. That's my clothes right here. Zomboy earns a lot of money for touring a lot and his merch, like this right here. The Transformers franchise earn money by selling merchandise. The movies and merch and whatnot, they all make this. That's their basic income, literally. Making music through touring and merch. That's how they actually make money, not through music. Music is the outlet, the reason for why they get all this money. But that's not their own basic income. If that was, believe it or not, all my EDM buddies will not be in the rut that they are right now. And we'll talk about that later on. I kid you not. And I'm just spitballing about the average percentage of how much a song is worth. It could be a whole lot less. Guarantee you. I've seen the statistics of how YouTube and Spotify gives you money after you pass a certain amount. They literally, I kid you not, we're talking about less than a penny per view. Guys, what the fuck is less than a penny? We're talking about 1 penny. We're talking about 0.00 and the number that is. Less than a fucking penny after you pass 100,000 views. Was it 100,000 views or was it 1,000 views? 10,000 views. Don't quote me on that. I cannot remember the exact number that once you pass a certain amount of views, that's where they start paying you, and they'll start paying you this amount. Guys, these media platforms give you like less than a penny per view after you pass the threshold. Dude, that's insane. You don't even make $100 out of this. Barely. And that's your song in there. So if you don't make $100 out of that, imagine how these all other EDM artists are right now facing. And we're talking about well-established artists that they got like more than 500,000 followers, up to 1 million followers, even more. And they're struggling big time. They all think that, oh shit, because of they tour and shit and whatnot. Guys, you don't realize all that costs money. So they need to tour. If they want to live in a nice apartment or a nice home and a nice neighborhood, and if they want the cars and shit or whatnot, it cannot be fed by music. It has to be by touring and merching. Because potentially when you make a song, after all this shenanigans of cuts and fees and whatnot from all the labels and split it around, you actually end up having like $1,000 to your name or more, roughly. And you don't get it at the moment it's being released. No, you get it like a year after. Yeah, it's something that has to do with the contracts and the distribution. Says that after you pass a certain amount of days and a certain amount of views or streams or plays or whatnot, that's when they start giving you a chunk of that check. Of that money. So let's just say that for the first 60 days, they're gonna see how much I stream. For example, I stream 60,000 plays. Oh shit, 16,000 plays out of those 60 days. Awesome. We're gonna take a chunk of that money and we're gonna give you your cut. But it has to go through all the labels and the distributions and all the reds and whatnot. And then you get a nice little check saying with your name, with how much money you get at the end. It's usually between hundreds of dollars to all the way to 1,000. You don't get paid immediately, and you don't get paid like till you don't see that money until a year later. I don't know why it takes that much time, but that's how it usually works out. And obviously, so since you're starting right now, you don't have any money. So how the fuck am I gonna eat? How the fuck am I gonna travel? How the fuck am I gonna do this and that? I released a song, made a million views. I'm not gonna get the money anytime soon. I'll here from 6 months to a year touring. So that's where the tour comes, and that's where these DJs or these EDM artists, they sign up to these agencies, and they put those people on the map. They put it on these festivals and shows and do their own tours and whatnot. And they potentially earn like average from beginning. You start like around $1,000. That's your minimum. You start getting paid 1,000 per show. And obviously your manager and your agent gets like 25% out of that. And if you sign with not 25, oh my God, that's a wild deal. If you sign with, guys, I'm telling you right now, if you sign to an agent and or a manager and they take 25% of your income, they're stealing from you. Because typically a manager gets average 10% of your cut. Always 10%. You can negotiate later on to go to 15 and probably push to 20. That's fine. Push back 20. That's a lot. And the same goes with agent. Agent normally is between 15 or 20%. If he charges you more, he better give you fucking good shows in which you potentially earn a lot more, in which you can actually give him that 20 plus that 20. Other than that, do not sign anybody that says like I'm taking you more than 20. Like, no. Anyways, let's say that a manager takes 10% of your cut, agent takes 20. And if you sign with a label, that the label puts you into shows as well, believe it or not, the label will take a huge chunk out of it, depending on your contract. And then you're left down to whatever the $1,000 that you got booked for that show. You're left with let's see. Whew. Let's do a quick little math right here, very quickly. So 1,000 times 10%. So the manager gets $100 out of it. Interesting. Didn't know that. So now you multiply this times 20 from the agent. Your agent gets 180. That means you got 7 and 20. You got $700 and $720 to your name. And let's just say that you sign out to the label and the label takes a cut. Let's say it's a 30%, which is, I've seen it before. It's 30%. So they take 216 from that 720 and you keep yourself $500. So basically, on average, between $500 to $720, that's what you get from that one gig. Now, that's not enough at all, because that's 500 and 720. That's basically on one show. That gets you far enough as to probably pay your car bill for the month and gas and eat food. I don't think this doesn't even comes close to paying your rent of wherever you live. If you're living with a roommate, you probably pay $500. Well, hey, here's your month's rent. If you're living by yourself, you pay more than $500, like let's say $1,000. Shit, you're ultimately fucked. So that's where you get like multiple bookings. That's where it comes to all these agents that they put you into multiple bookings. So that's why you see a lot of DJs. Let's say they're DJing on a Thursday night, on a Friday night, on a Saturday night. And if it's a festival, they go do it on a Sunday as well. And sometimes I'm seeing shows on a Sunday night too. In fact, I've seen shows on a Tuesday and Wednesday as well. Most of the time it's on a summer, but very rarely I see them during like winter times or fall times or even spring times. But usually it happens in the summer. But I have seen it. It's not an unusual thing, but it does happen. That's why you see a lot of these like EDM artists have like their time booked like every weekend, like 3 or 4 times every weekend. They need to make that money so they can pay that month. And once they got enough to pay that month, they need to think about next month and so on and so on and so on. So you see, that's their main income. Their source of income comes from touring. And I'm talking about your average. Some of them get paid $10,000. Some of them get paid $500,000. I kid you not. Some of these house DJs, well-known stars, get paid that much. Some of them get paid 200, 100. Some get 50,000. Like, it all varies, but that's their main income. And more to it, when they do their own tours, they sell their own merchandise. Like Zomboy. Zomboy sells his Zomboy gear, like Zomboy hats, Zomboy shirts, Zomboy stickers, Zomboy necklaces, and shit like that. All these artists, they all sell their merch as well. And they sell it not only, to please the fans and, to have something to remember and, rep their names, from my fans and whatnot. But also that's their response to have side money. Believe it or not, that's side money, because most of the time the merch doesn't have to do with the label. It's usually 100% from the artist. The artist was the one who designed it and this and that. Maybe the manager gets a cut out of it. That's fine. And sometimes if you sign to a label and the label is the one producing your own merch, like Disciple recordings have merch from each of these artists. The label then actually gets a cut out of it. Nothing wrong about it. It all depends of how you're actually producing your merch. But that's basically your side money, because every other money that you potentially earn from these bookings, keep in mind, not only this money is for feeding yourself for the month and for the next month and for the possibly third month, but all this money also goes to all your expenses, such as booking flights, booking hotels, transportation, food. I kid you not, guys. Sometimes these EDM artists, they have to pay all these expenses. It's not just for paying themselves and paying all the others. No, they gotta pay this. It's not free. Nothing in this world is for free. That's why they always want to go to the cheapest flight. The agent will always book you on the cheapest flight unless you specify them, like, I'd rather pay certain amount just to get to this flight and this flight, and to be on business goes, like, whatever. It's all on the secret. But they always go to the cheapest flight, and they always go to the cheapest hotels, and they always go to the cheapest transportation. Sometimes they even go Lyft or Uber to the festival, to the show, or whatnot. Because sometimes these promoters do not offer any of those services. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Sometimes promoters will ask a buddy to pick them up. Sometimes the promoters will be the ones picking them up. Sometimes barely. I've heard about this, but I have heard that sometimes they do provide hotel, but that's pretty much it. Food, hotel, flight, transportation, like those are all expenses. So obviously, out of the $1,000 that I just earned, let's just say that on 1 month I play, let's say, 3 times a weekend, 3 times every weekend. So I play Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Out of those 3 times on different states, different cities, let's just say I earn $1,500 on each one. So let's multiply 1,500 times 3. That's basically 45. Yeah, 4,500. And let's just say out of 4,500 in 1 month, that's 4 weeks. Multiply this by 4. So you potentially earn 1,800 at that 1 month. That 1 month, you gotta discount 10% out of your manager. That's 1,800 that goes to your manager. Straight up. 1,800. And then another one to your agent, which is 20%. Let's just put 20. Goes 3,240 goes to your agent, which leaves you to almost 1,300. Out of that, you got a lot of money. Straight up. All right. So this is how much now. Remember when I say that you book yourself for 3 shows per weekend, right? for a full month, four weekends. That's like three times for 12 shows. In total, in 1 month, you had 12 shows. Now, keep in mind, in these 12 shows, you had to pay airplane tickets, hotels, and maybe some hotels, food. You need to feed yourself, and transportation to get there. Guys, believe it or not, just between hotels and flight, that's a lot of money. That's a shit load of money. A flight, a simple flight, the cheapest flight you can get. And it's 3 times because obviously you got to go to these certain places, but then you have to return back home, right? I shit you not, guys. You could potentially spending more than $2,000 on a flight. More than $2,000, and that's by choosing the cheapest one. $2,000 on a flight. Let's just put ballpark. You got $10,000 already. Hotels are not cheap either because they're usually like 100 to 200 depending on the hotel. You even on a fucking Holiday Inn, a Hampton Inn, booking on one of them, it charges you $100 to 200. Believe it or not, and it's just for one night. That's it, and you just need a place to chill for a moment, dude. 200 already. And then all the food expenses. You're not gonna cheap yourself out. You're probably earning like McDonald's or Burger King, so you're going fast food all the way. So that's like at least $200, bro. 2,000 times 4 is 8,000. You're telling me minus. Oh, golly. And then all the food expenses and traveling. Let's say you decided to take a Lyft or Uber. That's like at least a good $50 on average. So I'm making the calculations right now on my calculator. So far, what you earn yourself from all that booking is $4,000 average. 4 G's. Now with those 4 G's, pay your monthly bills. That's your car if you have a car, or your rent, gas, and other expenses, credit card expenses, and what's the other thing? Like, I don't know. I got a lot of expenses, but normally will be like food. Yeah, like you have to eat every day. And then if you're buying new plugins for your new songs and shit right now, that's a lot of money. So you basically have $4,000 to your name without subtracting all your monthly payments. Let's just say on average, what you got for yourself for that 1 month is $2,000. Guys, I basically did the math from earning per show $1,500 per show to potentially earn almost $20,000. No, I was an average. It was like potentially earning, it was something like that. With all the expenses and fees and whatnot, you got yourself at least $4,000 to yourself. And then with the monthly payments, that's $2,000. On touring. That's insane. That's insane. You guys still believe that that's how you make music? Like, yeah, guys, like music doesn't pay that much. That's why these EDM has to hustle their asses off to get these shows, to get these bookings. Because I just told you on an average, sometimes they don't get this much booking. Sometimes they get 1 or 2. An average, probably 8 bookings a month. And that's not enough. So the numbers could be even less than that. That's why they need to tour and sell merch at a shitload of times. They have to, because if they don't, the music is not going to put food in their plate. I kid you not. They make the music to get the word out of it, so that way they get the bookings and all of that. That's the main reason why EDM artists make music. Straight up. You don't make money out of the music. You make money out of the tours and merchandise right now. And what sucks right now is because of the pandemic that we're all facing, all these EDM artists, their source of income completely stop, like shut down, like blocked completely. That's it, nada. So all those $2,000 or $4,000 they potentially earned a month has gone down to 0 a month for the past 4 months, 5 months so far. Guys, I feel bad about my EDM buddies, my homies right now that they tour a lot. I feel so bad about them because they don't really have any more source of income. Their source of income got shut down because that's that's really what they depend on. They rely on them on touring because obviously making the music is not gonna give them the money in the moment. Remember, guys, remember what I said earlier. When you make a song, you get the paycheck a year after, like 6 months to a year after. You don't get it immediately. So if these guys didn't save up enough money right now, they're struggling to the point like they don't know when it's their next meal, when is the next, like, and honestly, I don't see an end to this. Probably by next year, where things start to move a little bit. Hopefully, because right now they're doing the virtual festivals and whatnot, but it's like once a month or two or so. Now I'm hearing that they're planning to do EDM drive-in festivals, which is a dope idea. But not many artists are gonna get booked out of that. It's very farce about it. I'm completely grateful that I didn't pursue my EDM career as much as I should, as I wanted to, but I'm grateful that I didn't pursue it too much because imagine me being in that situation. Like right now, I'm right up to here. Well, my bills and my student loans that I'm still paying off. So imagine me as an EDM artist. Like I would have never make it, and it sucks, man. I feel bad for my homies, man. That they're right now struggling. Like some of them are basically have their visas here. Like the only reason for them they're here in the States is through work. They have a visa work for them. I'm afraid that they're gonna get shipped back to their mainland because what are you doing here? Like you're not working, so what's your purpose of staying here? And I feel bad for them, man. Like a lot of them are from Europe and they gotta and it may look like they're actually gonna go back again. And then over there, I mean, again, the situation is bad everywhere, no matter where you want to look at. So what can they do? How are they gonna make their money out of it? Here's the side hustle that you can actually do. Some of the side hustles that I see doing sample packs, which I'm seeing a lot of these artists that are right now releasing it, which is smart for them because that's actually a good side money to have just to spare. Not enough. It's not enough for them to pay whatever they gotta pay, but at least it's something to get some. Private tutoring lessons. Any up and comers dream is for some well-known established artist to look at them and say, hey, like I can help you guys, but I charge this much an hour. And believe it or not, some of these up and comers will pay whatever they gotta pay just to learn from the best. Learn from the best to become the best, basically the slogan. And I agree. I've done that a couple of times. It was actually a good experience. I learned a lot from him. I mean, that's how you do. Shout out to Adair, to Josh from Modstep, Crimson Chow, Op Prophet, Toby. Shout out to those guys. Like I learned a lot from them, from the best itself. And obviously, guys, and Company too. Company does a lot of private touring. So guys, if you're listening to me, if you guys wanna learn from these guys and support them in this difficult times, like hit them up or hit me up and I can actually put you in touch with them or send you an email. It's like, yo, just let them know that you got from me, like you're looking for private touring lessons, and blah blah blah. Yeah, like sample pads and stuff like that. That's the like what else? Live streams, I guess. Only Dr. Ozzy does that a lot, and I guess he makes a lot of money out of it. No, you know what? I can't say he makes a lot of money. I'm pretty sure he makes money, a decent amount that can support him in a way. But the thing is, Dr. Ozzy, shout out to him, man. He's been doing this for quite some time, so all that stuff has already been progressed. Like he already built it up. It didn't start like when this pandemic started. Like no, it was way before. And right now, that's why he can maintain himself and get some money out of it. Other artists are trying to do the same route, but it's not working out as it should because obviously, the shit is hitting the fan. Basically, people like me that are making podcasts. I started the podcast in this pandemic because it's a perfect timing, in my opinion, and I got so much more to do on this, and I have a long way to go. I have a huge long way to go, but this is how we do these things. We gotta start from somewhere, right? Some of these side hustles that these people are doing, I mean, they have to make money in some sort of way. And this is like the quickest way to make a money, like private tutoring lessons, sample pads, live streaming to listen to your songs and shit like that. Pay them to listen to to us and give them a critique feedback. Um, Going to these certain online schools like Into the Daw, the Fire Society. Like some of these artists are joining with these people, so that way these people could get potentially earn some sort of income or fast money in the moment. So so they gotta pay their shit because what is this episode about? How the EDM artists potentially earn money, and it's not just from music. Music you get pennies on the stunts. You literally earn from what? What we said in this episode: touring and merch. When you cut that source of income, you gotta figure out ways to make money. Fortunately, it is what it is. The pandemic has got to us, and it's hurting everybody. So my final thoughts to this: if you're trying to be a successful EDM producer, right now is not the time. It is not. You can get released on music, absolutely, but don't expect like get any money anytime soon. Don't expect to make more money. Like, nah, right now is a very dire situation. Now, I did mention earlier in this episode, like, okay, but what about Skrillex? What about Diplo? What about this other artists that they make money from mainstream? You said yourself that they make hella money from mainstream. You said yourself that hip hop producers and mainstream producers make money from these big superstars. Like, yeah, it's true. Because these superstars potentially earn millions and millions and millions of dollars that they want to pay somebody immediately at the spot up front. See, the difference is that all these people, they get paid money up front. I need you to make a song, a beat for me that goes with my voice, that goes with my singing, my style, and blah, blah, blah. They get paid up front. And even ghost producers get paid up front from these as well. Potentially from $100,000. So for one song, you get paid up front $1,000, get no credits, but you get royalties out of it. Sometimes they do put the credits, like, I want my name to be there, like, and the royalties. But yeah, that's how you get paid up front because they got the money. And why did they got money? Because the labels and reps has invested millions of dollars and they know that they can get that money back. They know they can get that money back by just giving them like a quick check right here in front. That's why Skrillex and Diplo and some of these guys, some of these superstar are EDM DJs that make music from all of these mainstream people or hip hop people. They're good because they make millions of dollars on just that. $100,000 on just a song and whatnot. And then God knows like the royalties and the deals they make out of it, And especially if you got a Grammy under your belt, you can potentially charge even more. That's why it's a difference between them superstars with us EDM artists that we don't not you cannot say that all the EDM has a Grammy under the belt. Like, but only like two people that I know, my homeboy Nitty Gritty and Wookie have a Grammy under their belt because they did a song with Bad Bunny, a reggaeton artist from Puerto Rico. But they didn't make a lot of money, but now they can charge a whole lot more. Absolutely, they can charge a whole lot more. So yeah, guys. So I'm gonna wrap this up. Recommendations to what to do in this scenario when you're basically an EDM artist and your source of income got cut because of this fucking pandemic that we're all facing. Man, do the side hustles as quick as much as you can. Like, convince people to take private tutoring lessons from you, like giving them a special discount. Like, hey, I charge $100 per hour per hour. I'm making a deal for $300. I can make 4 hours for $300. So I'm giving you a $100 discount, but you have to pay it now, or do a bunch of sample packs or a bunch of vocal packs. I do vocal packs. I stopped for a while. I'll probably make another one sometime in the future. I don't know when, but yeah, guys, like, try to make other fans. You see that if I had that scenario that my source of income got shut down because of this, at that point, I will start looking for other jobs, to be honest. Like, I know a couple of these people have taken Uber, Lyft as a job, as a source of income. That's the only way to get that. Some of them live with roommates, so they pay less, so they got a lot more to save up money. Yeah, go get yourself a new job. Unfortunately, like, you gotta work. Like, it sucks that music alone doesn't get you much, and it should, but in the EDM industry, it doesn't work like that. I've seen some of my homies that they got 10, 20,000 followers that they make a shit on songs. They barely perform, and when they do perform, that's their basically income. And yeah, this pandemic fucked everybody up and fuck everybody. So it sucks. So we're gonna wrap this up, guys. Recommendations once more: side hustle, just sample packs, private tutoring lessons. Take another job in the meantime until shit gets better. And mostly the job will be like what? Lyft and Uber. And if you have to, guys, file for unemployment. It's the only way to do it, guys. Unfortunately. So, and I recommend anybody who's starting out to be an EDM producer and it's hoping to get some money out of it. Right now, it's not the time. I'm sorry, guys. I do not recommend to start right now. Wait, probably right now, it's your time for you to master your craft, like perfect your craft, create your own style sound. So by the time when this shit is done, you can send all your music to these labels. And then from there on, shit can get the ball rolling. That's my recommendation. So guys, thank you guys for listening. And remember, every week it's a brand new episode or a brand new topic. So be sure to like to subscribe to your weekly episodes at the Lone Wolv Podcast for SoundCloud, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, and as well the YouTube channel at lonewolfpod.com. That's lonewolfpod.com. Comment down below, guys. Let me hear your thoughts. What do you guys think of what I talked about? Like, are you against it? Are you agreeing with it? Do you have any other thoughts? Do you have any other recommendations? You guys want to talk about something new the next episode? Let me know. Comment down below so I can be aware of it and we can definitely talk about it. So thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you guys at the next one. Peace.